Everybody sit down. So we don't go. We don't sit like this. So we don't sit down like this. I beg if we don't do our own and tell me so we go start.
Should I share it to you? Or your phone? You want?
I know they're online, but I listen.
Whenever they talk first,
No, the picture.
the mic, you don't enter.
Alright, a very good morning to you, and thank you for joining us on this fourth match day 4 of the SSI Premiership. Talking about the now it is the match 4 here live at the Wrong Stadium here in the city of Jos, and we are here. Stream, of course, talking about Superstars FA and Clapai FA. That's our star match for the week, and we're here to bring you this live wherever you are in the part of the world. Of course, you are listening to us live from the city of Jos. My name is Miri Steven. Of course, I'll be doing this alongside my colleague Rairon. Rairon is here with me today. Rairon, a very good morning to you, and it's great to have you join us.
Very good morning to you, Mary. It's good to be here again.
Let me give you the rundown of fixtures of matches that will go down today. I mean, talking about the match day 4 in the SSI Premiership. First game, of course, that just ended was between Jersey Stars and Red Arrows. FA and Clapai FA. That's match, of course, you're watching live from your homes, and also the match that will go Highland Stars FA by Junior Cadets will be up FA by while the last match for today will see Agesta going up against Nestrak FA. That game will go down today by 4 p.m. And let's quickly look at the lineup for the both sides. Of course, beginning for the FA. Let's quickly give you the matches. The matches are on already. The matches are ongoing already. So let's quickly give you the who is the number 1 goalkeeper. Is the goalkeeper, of course, as usual for Superstars FA. He's putting on number 1 jersey. Abubakar Adam 2 is putting on number 2 jersey. Abdullahi Uzaifa is putting on number 5 jersey. Yusuf Umar number 14 jersey. Jibrin Abubakar 2 is on number 4 jersey. 14 jersey, I beg your pardon. Jibrin Abubakar number 4 jersey, just as I said earlier. And Mubarak Abdul is putting on number putting on number 10 jersey. Alright, I hope I got that right. Aliu Salisu is putting on number 8 jersey. 9 jersey. Ibrahim Abdullah is putting on number 10 jersey. Usman Ahmad is also on with the number 11 jersey. Now let's give you that of Clapai FA, talking about their lineup. Alright, for Clapai, of course, we have Meshak Gwamni putting on jersey number 1, Akawu Shadra putting on jersey number 88, Dimas Jerry with jersey number 33, Tochuku Apuchi with jersey number 23, Alheri Paul with jersey number 5, Manji Galadi with jersey number 15, Nicholas Ahoba with jersey number 14, Chinedu Duru with jersey number 16. I beg your pardon, that of Nicholas is number 16, while Chinedu putting on jersey number 14. Christopher John with jersey number 21, Shadrach Sunday putting on jersey number 6, and the last but not the least, of course, is Sadok John with jersey number 13. Just as I said earlier, the matches are on. Of course, from my left to right is clapai FA putting on number red jersey. Well, I mean, putting a jersey, red color jersey, I beg your pardon. While that of Superstars are wearing jersey, white jersey with an ash and white jersey. That's how it's going down here at the at the Rampam Township Stadium. And also, let me quickly go back to my colleague Rairom. Of course, the match is on already. Rairom, the first game, yes, it was between Jazzy Stars FA and Red Arrows FA. It ended in favor of Jazzy Stars. They are back on top of the lock. So, you saw that game, and I'm very sure you have a lot to talk about it.
Well, it was a very interesting fixture between Jazzy Stars and Red Arrows. At the beginning of the match, who would have thought that the Red Stars would be able to come back like that in the second half? They gave a very wonderful performance. In the first half, they were sluggish, they were slow, their passes was not accurate, there was no communication between the players, and then Jazzy Stars used advantage of that to be able to score. I think the fastest goal so far in the league before the 4th minute, and a very, very fine finish from the players of Jazzy Stars. But for Red Arrows, they are bottom on the table now, minus 12 points, and I remember when we were watching that game, we were saying something, their second half performance would be better. We expected that they should come back. They missed a couple of chances anyone who saw that match would have thought that match would end in a draw, actually, because their shots on target, it was good. The number of games they played so far, you could see that in as much as they considered lots of goals, they were able to attack wise. It was a very fine, interesting game. The top of the table, the bottom of the table, and it ended like that. It's still as is. Jazzy Stars are still at the top of the table. Red Arrows are on the bottom of the table. But I'm looking forward to this match, the biggest match for game week 4. That's between clapai and Superstars FA, and it's going on well already. It's a balanced game so far. There's no rhythm yet. The game is still going off. There's no balance. There's no accuracy, and passes are actually not decided in this one yet. But it's going to be a very interesting match from now to the next 90 minutes or thereabouts, and we look forward to enjoying this fixture.
All right, thank you, Rarom. Let's quickly give you an interesting gist about this tournament so far. From what I have with me, of course, Adjesta FA are the best. I mean, the team with the sharpest attack so far. They've netted about 9 goals in 3 matches. Of course, they'll be playing this evening later. All right, a chance here. He missed that. He missed that. What a golden opportunity for Superstars FA. Now back to what I was saying a bit earlier. Both Derby FA and Jazzy Stars FA have the best defense. They've conceded only 2 goals prior to the match they played this very morning, and in 3 matches. League leaders, of course, Jazzy Stars are the only team yet to test defeats in the 10-team league. And both Red Arrows FA, clapai Stars FA are the only 2 teams yet to pick up points in the 3 matches. And of course, don't forget that Red Arrows have actually played their own game earlier this morning, and they lost that game by 4 goals to 2, where they got passed by Jazzy Stars FA. Talk about the table toppers. Now, Jazzy Stars FA are the only team yet to drop a point in 3 matches. Now, in 4 matches, I beg your pardon, they've won all thus far. clapai FA are the most generous team, of course. They've conceded about 12 goals, and in 3 matches. Hopefully, they don't concede, because we are watching them live here at the Rampam Township Stadium. Superstars FA are the draw specialists. They've drawn 2 matches out of 3. So maybe today, of course, they have an ample opportunity to get 3 points at the end of the day. Musa Dino of Derby FA is the first goal scorer of the SSI Premiership, when he netted the only goal in a 1 win over Esperon FA in the first league match of the day that was actually streamed live. Yes, here it was actually streamed live here at the Rampam Township Stadium. Segiru Ibrahim of Adjesta FA got the first brace of the SSI Premiership season, and that's in season 1, when he netted 2 goals against Red Arrows FA. Shamsuddin Usman of Esperon FA got the first hat-trick of the SSI Premiership season 1, when he got 3 goals against Nestrak FA. That game actually went down last week. Now a chance again, once again, for a superstar. It's a little bit of he blew the chance. It's over already. It's over. He missed the opportunity. Musa Dino, of course, Musa Nu, I beg your pardon, of Esperon FA got the first red card in the match day 1 against Derby FA. Match day 4 SSI Premiership style match, of course, will be the match that will be streamed live here, and you're watching wherever you are at the comfort of your home. Yes, you're watching us live from the Rampound Township Stadium, and it is the SSI Premiership and the match between Superstars FA and Clapai Stars FA is live here at the Rampound Township Stadium. A free kick for Superstars FA. They seem to be having 7 minutes of this game, and I so much believe that maybe this could just be another chance for them. Don't forget about the fact that the statistics, of course, or the records rather, it's against Clapai FA because they've conceded 12 goals so far in 3 matches. And now our Superstars haven't won a game. Yes, they drew 2 matches in 3, so they have an ample opportunity here to see if they can actually pick the maximum 3 points. It's an open play, and of course they seem to be having better and more of the possession here at the Rampound Township Stadium.
Alright, seems like the game is getting balanced already on the side of Clapai. They look desperate. They are yet to pick a point in 3 matches, even though we have 20 matches in this competition, but it's still not balanced for them. There's Superstars who are 8th position. They're still not comfortable with that yet, but it doesn't look like they're ready to increase that level on the table and move above 5 on the table. But for Clapai, let's see how it goes on for them now. They've yet to pick a point, which is absolutely going to be a problem for them. They would look desperate in their remaining matches, even in this one, because they would need at least a point to just move them above the table. Since their goals difference between Red Arrows, who are actually on the bottom of the table now, is just 2, and it could mean big for them, just moving above the relegation zone. But I don't know if there's going to be a relegation in this competition. It's baby steps though, but this is one of the best competitions you can ever see, grassroots football, and that's how it's supposed to be. Development and moving forward in football. We see that in this country, we tend to take grassroots football not seriously. We have this nonchalant behavior, especially from the FAs in this country. From the federal level to the state FAs, it's the nonchalant behavior towards grassroots football. But this is a changing sport. This is where scouts can come and find talents. This is an under-18 competition, and you could see that really the age gap has not really been tampered with. You see young boys playing on the pitch and showing that they have so much potential, and we have big national teams in the country that can actually pick talents from all these kind of competitions, and you could say that Jos is one of the teams that could actually boast to deliver talents to this country in cases like that. I remember St. Morumba, actually, I think they're one of the schools in the country that have delivered some of the best talents in our national teams, and no doubt about that. We could do this. We could change the narratives with this game. It's still goalless between Superstars versus Clapai FA in the SSI Premiership game week 4. Alright, it's a free kick now for Clapai FA. Alright, before that, let's give you the updates now on the table as it stands for game week 3. Now, for game week 4, rather, Jazzy Stars FA, they played 4 matches, won 4, drawn none, they've lost none. They are the least conceding side in the competition, and they have 12 points on the log. Second, after Jazzy Stars FA, Ajesta FA with 6 points, yet to play their 4th game, which will be later on today. And on the 3rd position, El Spuron FA on the 4th on the table with 6 points, also tied against, and a beautiful free kick there. And the goalkeeper has it for Abdullahi for Clapai FA. And for the 5th position on the table, Debbie FA and Highland FA are on 6 points respectively. On the 7th position is Nestrak FA with 4 points. 8th position, Superstars FA with 2 points. And on the 9th position is Clapai FA 0 points, yet to pick a point. On the 10th position is Red Arrows, played 4 matches, and they are the last on the log with 0 points. They are still yet to pick a point after losing against.
Alright, thank you, Rarom. Let's quickly let you know that it's a goal. It's a goalkeeper. That's a blunder. Consider goal. It's considered goal. That's a big blunder from the goalkeeper. A big blunder. I wonder what he was thinking about it, Rarom.
I don't know. I think these things happen in football. It was actually a contest between the goalkeeper and the player. He seems to have gotten hold of the ball, but he didn't actually hold on to it tight to the extent that he could actually counter for ball. It was a bad error from the goalkeeper. I think if there's an own goal that can be allocated to goalkeepers, I think this is one of it, and it's so sad for Red Stars.
Alright, clapai just conceded a goal. Of course, we told you that they are the most generous team in this particular tournament. Of course, they've conceded 13 goals now in 4 matches. And I think the coaches have a lot of work to do with this particular team. Gomi Menshak they did a very, very big blunder. I think the goalkeeper needs a little bit of confidence. It's a grassroots tournament, so he should have been more confident enough. We always advise goalkeepers to play from the back. I thought he wanted to play the ball with his foot, and then he got a little bit unlucky there. The goal had to be conceded in such a very superstar. Just got a goal this afternoon, and I hope they could actually consolidate on this so that they could get the 3 points at the end of the day. A very interesting game here going down at Rampau Tamshit Stadium. It's a game between Superstars FA up against Clapai FA. It's 1-0 in favor of Superstars. They are still moving with their attack. A break here. Let's see, 3 against 1. If they can actually do something, get something out of this. A chance. He missed it. All right, that's a goal. That's a goal for Superstars FA. A good goal. 3 against 1. Clapai is still being the most generous team in this very tournament, with all due respect.
2 goals in 2 minutes. An interesting performance from Clapai FA. It's an opportunity for them to pick points. Like I said, they are desperate and they actually need this. It's an opportunity for them. Superstars FA, kudos to them. 2 goals in 2 minutes. Game week 4 in the SSI Premiership. Let's see if Clapai FA will be able to bounce back to this defeat. It's already a defeat for them. 2 goals. I don't know how much they can bounce back with the way they already look sluggish. They're looking tired already. It's like they've given up all hopes. Yes, we don't have a point, so we're not going to keep fighting for it. We're tired. Let's keep remaining bottom of the table and keep being at the receiving end all the time. But hopefully, it's just not more than 10 minutes into the game, and definitely you can't say for sure. It's football. Anything can happen. But it doesn't look like Clapai actually have the strength and the consistency to be able to push for a draw with the draw specialist. But it's going to be different this time around. Maybe a win for Superstars FA this afternoon.
Goal came, of course, Kotli Alihu Salisu, putting on the number 8 jersey. Now let's see how it turns down, because it's obvious that Clapai seem to be okay. They give the ball away. Clapai now, they have an opportunity to strike forward. Still keeps the ball in. Now we have Superstars on the ball. It's still another opportunity again. All right, good defensive display there by Clapai FA. I think they need to be a little bit disciplined. This match is sometimes when you watch grassroots team play football, you begin to wonder if these boys are really grassroots players, because they seem to have this experience, they seem to have this exposure. But whenever they have the opportunity to play matches, they seem to be jittering. Are we talking about the lack of exposure in the parts of the players? Or I don't just get it, because whenever they find themselves in such arena, such as this one, they tend not to give. Watch them at their training grounds, watch them at their match grounds, especially whenever they are playing at home. They seem to be more confident compared to when they are playing in such arena. What do you say about this?
Well, Miri, if we talk about discipline and lack of exposure in grassroots football, you can actually put all the blame on the players. When you don't have the exposure, how do you expect to be disciplined? Discipline comes with exposure. You play many games, you play big matches, and that's where you pick it up from. Plus, this is not actually the first time it's happening in games like this. I remember over the opening match for this competition, the first game for SSI Premiership between Espuron and Ajesta FC when they Ajabi FA, pardon me, when they received the first red card. You could see that there was still no composure in those kind of games, and you wonder, is it that these boys don't have the capability to be able to bounce back from games like this? But it's as a result of the lack of discipline and lack of exposure. That's why we need we need grassroots competitions like these so that they can expose these boys to football that can develop their skills and hopefully be able to compete with the higher level. But so far so good. It doesn't look good for these boys now. And that's a foul there for clapai FA.
The goalkeeper is possession of the ball. A throw there in favor of Superstars FA. They are still buzzing in confidence, of course. When you are 2 goals up, first 15 minutes, I mean, you should be confident enough to get the 3 points at the end of the day. Clapai doesn't seem to be connecting. Flag up, outside against Superstars FA. Just as I was saying earlier, Clapai seem not to be connecting.
Well, they don't seem to be able to speak to each other in the game so far. And speaking to each other has to do with playing with the ball, understanding yourselves on the pitch. And it doesn't look like they are actually doing that so far in the game. There's no rhythm. The passes are not even connecting. There's no balance in the game. I think a player has gone down there for Clapai FA with a foul there. A very, very hard tackle from Red Stars. Well, it doesn't look good for him. Seems like there will be a substitution. Chuku Abuchi, he was substituted by Shedrack Sunday because of the injury, and I think it was a very, very bad one there. A very hard tackle on him.
Alright, the ball is still on. Jibril with a free kick. Still Superstars with possession. A man-to-man marking there. Of course, the goal scorer, Aliu Salisu, lost that ball. Still a throw in favor of Superstars FA. Mubarak Abdullahi with that. Long one. The goalkeeper has it. Drops the ball in quickly. Foul there. Foul against Superstars FA. Tochukwu drops the ball in. Still in possession. Clapai. They could do something here. An opportunity. Wow, what a miss. Good block there by the defenders. Superstars still in possession. Seem to be on the break now. Yusuf Umar still on the ball. He flicks the ball in to Usman Ahmad. Still lost the ball. An opportunity. That was unlucky. The goalkeeper has the ball. A beautiful game here at the Rampound Township Stadium, of course. It is the SSI Premiership here in the city of Jos, and of course, when I mean SSI, I mean the Sammy Sports International Premiership Season 1. That's 2021. It is actually an initiative put together by a veteran sports journalist here in Nigeria. Wherever you are watching us across the world, Sammy Sports International, put together by Sammy Adesoji. And we are live here at the Rampound Township Stadium, bringing you this game, of course, at the comfort of your homes. An opportunity. Clapai Stars lost the ball. Okay, the player was offside, so there was no need for him to make an attempt. Goalkeeper in possession. Placed the ball from back. Manji Galadi with the ball. Chinedu with the ball. Flicks in it. An opportunity, no. He lost that ball. Still a battle in the midfield. Manji still going on the ball. Shedrack. That's an easy one for the goalkeeper. Yeah, the goalkeeper seemed to be a little bit comfortable. Of course, when you are leading by 2 goals to nothing, I think you should have all the confidence. You have that belief. If you can get another goal, you kill the game entirely. Good contest and a good defensive display there by Clapai FA. If I were the coach, I think I would quickly let them understand that, look, we shouldn't concede any longer, because the more you concede, the more you have a mountain to climb. Okay, player's down, he needs attention. The referee is attending to the player. It's 2-0 here at the Rampound Township Stadium. Superstars FA are up by 2 goals to nothing against the most generous team, of course, of the tournament. Talking about Clapai FA, with all due respect. I can see the coach on the touchline, Anthony James, talking about Clapai coach, trying to dish out instructions to his player. Of course, he was actually talking to the captain of the side, talking about Akawu Shedrack. Maybe he's just letting him know that, look, guys, you guys need to just push forward and let's get some goals. Throw in favor of Superstars. Of course, we have a team in fans here in the stadium that pouring into this particular tournament. Of course, this is the best you can get of grassroots football. It's all about changing the narratives at grassroots. Superstars still in possession. They have a big opportunity today. 3 points seems to be in the back, with all due respect. From the way they play, they could actually avoid complacency. I think they should win this game tonight. Foul there. Committed by Zadok John. It's in favor of Superstars FA. An opportunity as well for Superstars FA to consolidate on the goals already. You need to keep their confidence high. Free kick. That's a poor one. Good block there by the wall. Chinedu with the ball. Shedrack moving on the ball. Does his best. Cuts the ball in. Still moving. Back to Chinedu. Hits. What an attempt. He missed that. Good attempt. I think it's pretty better right on. When you are losing by 2 goals to nothing, I think you should try as much as possible to commit more bodies forward.
Well, I don't know about committing lesser fouls or something like that, but I think the problem here is the fact that they're not composed in the game. Tempo has still not settled in for them. And like you said earlier, the best form of defense is to attack, and they're lacking that already. They are still trying to play defensive from the beginning of the game, even though they considered 2 goals. They're supposed to attack, maybe to be able to compensate for the 2 goals that they've considered and be able to balance it up or equalize for those 2 goals. But otherwise, they are doing it, and body language is not actually going to help them here because they will concede more fouls, and it's going to be against them most of the time. But if they compose themselves, they play like they should, then I think it's going to be a good game towards the end for Clapai FA. At least even if they lose, they will lose with a little bit of dignity. And that was a very, very bad tackle now on Superstars FA player down there. He's still struggling to get up his feet though, and the referee overlooked it. Some decisions though, officiating decisions that you can't actually blame. A free kick. In favor of Superstars FA. Sadiq Umar there on the ball. A wonderful save by the goalkeeper of Clapai FA. I think he's ready to correct the mistakes he made earlier at the beginning of the match. This game doesn't look to actually pass so much from the midfield. It's a battle of the midfield. The midfield has been solid for both teams, even though there's a little bit of leak for Clapai on their parts there, and the defensive errors keep coming in. But a wonderful form of attack from Superstars. They're doing a good job. And a cross there from Mubakar Abdullahi. Minutes now, this game doesn't look like it has passed the midfield of Superstars FA. It has been solid. They are not allowing so much penetration. They're not giving Clapai FC so much space to be able to attack. And it's a big threat for Abdullahi now, for Clapai FC's goalkeeper. And it doesn't look like he can take in so much pressure from Superstars FA. By Sammy live from the city of Jos in Nigeria. An interesting match, grassroots development football at the Round Palm Township Stadium. An interesting fixture between the 8th position on the log and the last team on the log. These two teams haven't even tasted one victory yet. One is yet to even get a point, and the other managed 2 draws in 3 games. This game doesn't seem to find its rhythm till this moment. Maybe up until the 30th minute before we'll be able to decide and say this is how the game has been so far. But it has been clueless. Wrong passes, wrong shots. The ball keeps going out. That was wonderful display from Chinedu Adu. Yeah, an interesting one. The best threat so far in this game.
All right, just for the record, of course, let's let you know that the head coach, of course, of Superstars FA is not on the touchline this evening, this morning. I beg your pardon. That's talking about Issa, because of the fact that there were some disciplinary issues. Of course, he has to be suspended, so he has a touchline ban, so he will not be with the team. So, of course, you wouldn't see him. He's a very active coach. Whenever you see him on the pitch of play, of course, whenever he's on the touchline, you can see some action. The energy he tries to push into the team as well, but then he's actually suspended by the organizers of the tournament for some disciplinary issues. So then it's still 2-0 in favor of his team, and they seem to be playing far better. Yes, it's at the moment, clapai Stars seem to be containing the likes of Superstars because of the fact that they are able to learn quickly from their mistake. They are not giving them any much opportunity. And then they seem to be closing up every ball, though they are really open at the moment. They're still going on. Superstar still on the ball. Salisu is still on the ball. He lost that. Shedra with the ball now. Right, the free kick in favor of clapai Stars. Beautiful display here, of course, at the Rompang Township Stadium. Just as my colleague told you earlier, it's the Sammy Sports International, a Premiership Match Day 4. Wherever you are watching us, wherever you are in the part of the world, of course, you are watching live from the Rompang Township Stadium. Christopher John on the ball. He lost the ball. Of course, I've been cleared to safety. Yes, Salisu flicks the ball in. Sarki couldn't actually get that ball. It's a throw in favor of clapai. Clapai still in possession. Chinedu on the ball. Still on the ball. We seem to be a little bit selfish, in my opinion. Sometimes as a midfielder, you don't need to hang so much on the ball. There could be a 1-2 situation that could actually open up the play for you as easy as possible. I think that's what grassroots coaches need to be working on. Sadak John is on the ball. He lost it. Right, it's a throw in favor of Superstars. Of course, they are in cruise control. 2-0. 2-0 here at the Rompang and Township Stadium. Of course, we're here live in the arena. Still moving. Salisu is on the ball. Hits the ball. Of course, goes wide. Asim Aliu Salisu, for me, has been a better player in this half. Talking about the performance of both sides. He seemed to have more of the ball. Very confident player. And of course, despite the fact, just as the saying goes, the team cannot make a forest, so he needs a combination of good players around him. When you build a team around a very good player with some quality additions, of course, it tends to give you a better balance whenever you're playing. Clapai, the goalkeeper, starts from the back, drops the ball in. Okay, the referee in collision, of course, the referee interferes. Yes, that's a new rule. Good one there by the central referee, talking about Babangida. Returns the ball back to the skipper of the side, talking about Ibrahim. Superstars lost the ball. A foul there, considered by clapai FA. Good display at the moment, of course. Clapai ain't taking any chances. And Superstars, of course, are trying to do everything possible, of course, to see if they can actually put another goal in the back of the net, so they could actually bury the game. Of course, I'm very sure if the game is 3-0, though it's a game of football, only 90 minutes can tell. Good piece of play here. He still keeps possession. That's key. Still on the ball. Superstar lost it. Abubakar Jibrin on the ball. Drops it in. throw in favor of Superstars FC, FA. Wari Umar on the ball. Throws it in quickly to Salisu. Brings the ball in. Wow. Lost that. The man seems to be unmarked. But maybe the defenders for Clapai FA are ball watching. I thought they could actually do better to deal with that. Christopher John. Good energy. First half here. We've come to the regular to the end of the first half of this match between Clapai FA and Superstars FA. It's 2-0 in favor of Superstars FA. It's a Sammy Sports International. First half, the referee blows the whistle, and we are going to go for our first break, of course, to see what these two coaches actually bring up to the table. It's a golden opportunity for them, a realistic opportunity as well for them to speak to these players. You have to make them realize that, look, you can do better, especially when it comes to the Clapai side. I think Anthony James, talking about the coach of Clapai, needs to motivate these players so that they could actually get back into winning ways. They've lost 3 matches and they are at the verge, just at the verge of losing their 4th game. But so far so good. I think for them to be able to contain the firepower of these Superstars strikers, it means they could just have that bit of hope of Rairom to come back. Imagine if they get the first goal, maybe in the first 10 minutes of the second half. I think they should be able to come back, maybe pick a point, or go ahead to win the game overall.
Well, I don't know if today is going to be a good day for Clapai FA. They don't look like they even want to win. They don't look like they need those points. For Superstars FA, I would say that their display wasn't satisfying. It wasn't a satisfactory performance to me, and I don't think that it should be an edge for them to relax that they've won the game already. They seem to look like they would come back and want to keep winning. After the match, the way they left the field, they don't look like they were satisfied. They don't look like they were the ones winning the game, and it's to show you how much they want to win the game, how bad they want this game to be won by them. For Clapai FA, they need a little bit of motivation. At least, even if it's a goal for them on the part of them. They've been the most generous team so far in this competition. They've conceded 14 goals now until game week 4, and that's the highest so far for any team in this competition. Just 4 games, 14 goals you've conceded so far, and it says really so much about how much your defense has been poor, how much it has been the orientation of your team has been. They don't have motivation. They lack discipline in their performances. They don't look like they would be able to hold in so much as not to concede goals, to be able to perform very well in the second half. But I'm looking forward to it though. I like the way Superstars FA left the pitch. They don't even look like they are satisfied with the performance at all. They look like they're going to come back and add 2 more goals in the second half. But we'll see about that. So far so good. It has been a performance, a one-sided performance though. Clapai didn't look to pose so much threat to Superstars FA, and it doesn't look like there will be so much trouble for them in the second half.
All right, I'm still with you, of course. We are still live at our studio here at the Rompound Township Stadium. Of course, it is SSI Premiership Season 1, talking about Superstars up against Clapai Stars. 2 goals to nothing in favor of Superstars FA. Now, Rairom, let's come back quickly to some of our major talking points in this particular game. Now, first of all, the first goal that was actually conceded by Clapai, I think that was a little bit careless from the goalkeeper. He shouldn't have done that.
I don't know what the goalkeeper was thinking. He assumed that the player was actually his teammate, and he allowed him touch the ball a little bit, or he gave him the ball thinking that, oh, I passed it already, and it was really very careless. I don't know even what to say. I have no comments about the carelessness of this goalkeeper. We can't even make excuses for him. Like I said earlier, if they could award own goals to goalkeepers, I think this would be the first. It was a very stupid careless efforts from the goalkeeper. He shouldn't have considered that goal in the first place, and I don't think his teammates deserved it. They complained so far, and there was no connection. Yes, your goalkeeper made a mistake. How much are you going to pick up and perform better? It seemed like they left him on his own. The defenders, I don't know if Clapai had defenders in this game, to be honest, because the defenders look like they left the work for the goalkeeper to do. Whenever the ball comes to the post, just left for the goalkeeper to be able to hold that goal, and it's so bad. But for the players on their side, I think the mistake wouldn't have been on the part of the goalkeeper alone. It's a teamwork, it's football. There are 11 players. You're still 11 on the pitch. It's teamwork that gives you that effort to be able to win or lose matches. So if you all lose, you all lose. It's not on the part of the goalkeeper. The defenders also contributed to what's that loss of the conceding of the game. And I think that's a problem on their side. But so far, so good. We'll come back in the second half in few minutes, 10 minutes or more, and we'll be able to give you updates on the second half of the competition. It's still game week 4 of the SSI Premiership in the Rampam Township Stadium in Jos, streaming live from Jos, Nigeria. Enjoy the music while we come back in this break to be able to give you updates in the match between Clapai FA versus Superstars FA, and it's at 0-2 in favor of Superstars FA. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
All right, Rairom, a big thank you to you. Of course, but I was actually letting you to go, but I will let you go, Rairom. Now, quickly, please, before we take this break, Rairom. Now, if you were you were the coach of Clapai's side, talking about Anthony James. What will you be telling the goalkeeper in the dressing room?
Well, I don't know. I've never seen myself being a coach in the first place, but Anthony James has not been a coach that has actually been settled. They've not won any game, so you can't even say you can judge his reactions in their winning so far. He has always been reacting the same ways because they've always lost their matches, and they are losing this one. It's the same reaction, and you wonder, this is just 2 goals in this first half. The other games that they've played, they've considered 12 goals in just 3 matches. Let's divide them and give them a ratio of 4 goals per game, second in each half, and he's doing the same today. So I don't see any problem with the goalkeeper and the coach. It's going to be the same story over and over again. It was a stupid decision from the goalkeeper, of course, but he also has to pick the blame for the defenders. They didn't look like they were going to fight off that goal in the first place. They left everything to the goalkeeper. He was just there alone. You don't expect your an opponent to be in the 18 of your team without a defender there trying to stop him from trying to do what he's supposed to do. You left him there with the goalkeeper one-on-one. What do you expect? How is that supposed to be the goalkeeper's fault? I think it all comes down to the players too. They lack the discipline and to be able to
Now let's I think away from the goalkeeper's error, one of our major talking points again is the second goal conceded by Clapai. Now, we've been actually talking with my colleague here in the studio, and we've been talking about how the goalkeeper was a little bit careless. She was actually complaining about the fact that, look, he should have actually done better. And then now, I think in my own opinion, if I were Anthony James talking about the coach of the side, I would let the goalkeeper know that, look, you can do better. I think it's all about encouragement. These are young lads. I think the overall aim of this particular tournament is grassroots development. Of course, we are exposing them to the world, just like what we are doing now at the Rampam Township Stadium. We stream the games live. Wherever you are, at the comfort of your home, you can get to watch these matches. Now, Radom, let's go back to our second talking points now. The second goal conceded by Clapai. It was a 3-against-1 situation. Where were the defenders, for God's sake?
Like I said earlier, the defenders were the reason for the first goal that was conceded. Yes, it was a blunder from the goalkeeper. Well, the defenders were to blame for all the goals conceded. Like I said, if they are the highest conceding team in this competition, it's trying to tell you a point, and it's just straight up that they don't have a good defensive setup in their team, and that is the problem. Whenever your defense is leaking, you don't expect that you play against an attacking-minded team and not concede goals, because that's what they will do. They want space, and you're giving it to them. 3-against-1, what do you expect? They still go back, and they still can't even penetrate the walls of their midfield, talk more of their defense. You don't attack, you don't defend. You always concede goals. How do you expect to win? It does not make sense in competitions like that. And concerning the fact that this is development football, the boys need to understand that it is also a platform for them to build their skills. The competitive mindset is there, but they make it look like, yes, because we are in a league, so we can't make mistakes. We don't want to relegate. We don't want to make blunders so not to lose. We are the last on the table. We can't keep making mistakes. And that mindset keeps making them make more errors, and it's a problem on their side. But it's baby steps. There are 20 games in this competition. It's just 4 on the way. 18 games. You can't decide for the 4th game. You don't know where Clapai are going to get to in the next game. But so far, so good. It doesn't look good on their side. They look like they don't have a balance already on the team, and it doesn't look like they have a way going forward so far. But it's a problem for them. They need to pick up the pieces. They need to pick things together, set up, understand teamwork, maybe train more, if that's going to be a punishment from the coach. I'm not suggesting that so, because our players have different ways of responding to punishments. But if there's a way you can punish a player to show encouragement so that they can do better, then I think that's left on the part of Anthony to be able to ginger his boys now to do better. Let's watch. Let's wait for a second half performance and see where it's going to take them to.
All right, as we wait for the second half of the return of the second half of chaos between Superstars FA and clapai FA. Now we've actually been talking about the first half analysis, especially the major talking points, talking about the goals that were actually conceded by clapai FA. I think the coach can actually do better. But then we must say kudos to Superstars FA. Now, taking away right now, coming back to you now. Not taking away the fact that, look, they don't have their coach, talking about Issa on the touchline at the moment. I thought that should have been a little bit at their disadvantage. Maybe they should be demoralized by the fact that our coach is on the touchline. But yet, they were able to pick up, despite the fact that they had just won. I mean, they just have 2 points in 3 matches, which of course is not really a good record. But then, they did their best to ensure that they could actually be on the front foot, especially in the first half. So, the absence of their coach is on the touchline. Do you think it actually has anything to do with this particular game, or the players were actually waiting for him not to be there?
I remember when David Moyes contracted COVID-19, and that was the moment. It was a turning point for West Ham, and I can still argue about this, that their assistant coach gave a boost. One thing we don't understand in modern football is the fact that we always give credit to just the coaches that are always on the picture. We always give credit to the coaches that are always on the touchline, thinking they are the brains behind the work and all that. But that's not actually the point. That is not the essence of it. They are assistant coaches, they are technical advisors. They play major roles in the development of every team, and they have to be respected. Now the assistant coach standing in for the main coach shouldn't actually have been a problem, because most of the time the assistant coach are the ones actually training these boys on the pitch. Sometimes even when the coaches are on the touchline during trainings, the assistant coach are actually the ones telling them what to do. Run this way, kick the ball this way. No, you hit this ball right, head the ball this way. It's the assistant coaches, and I think they have them on the touchline today. It's an advantage for them, not even a disadvantage. And that's the understanding that we need to get in modern football, that the main coaches are actually not the ones behind the success of the team. I remember when Guardiola actually parted ways with Mikel Arteta as his assistant coach in Manchester City. That was when they started having slight problems, and people thought that Arteta was actually the brains behind Guardiola's successes at Manchester City. Even though it's relative, we have doubts about that. He's a mastermind when it comes to philosophy in modern football. Yes, we understand that, but look at what he's doing with Arsenal. There has been an instability, but you can't actually compare the fact that an assistant coach also brings so much to a team, even more than the head coach. But kudos must be given to Superstars FA. They didn't let that relent on them. They didn't let that actually be a disadvantage for them. Even the fact that their coach wasn't around on the pitch there, but it wasn't a problem for them at the beginning of the game, even towards the first half of the competition.
All right, a big thank you to you, Rano. Of course, the players are back on the pitch of play, and then you can see that the clapai star players seem to be more motivated, of course, to get their groove back. Now, let's quickly give you, of course, yes, let's quickly give you a rundown of the first team lineup. Talking about Superstars FA. We have Ahmad Abdullah is on the pitch as well. Abubakar is still in the game. That's Abubakar Adam, Abdullahi Zaifa, Yusuf Umar, Jibrin Abubakar, Mubarak Abdullahi, Buhari Umar, Aliu Salisu, Ismail Sarki, Ibrahim Abdullahi, and Usman Ahmad. That's the first team lineup. Of course, let's quickly look at the reserves, and we have Haruna Yahaya, Aminu Lawal, Anas Ibrahim, Aminu Usman, Yusuf Yahaya, Abubakar Usman, and Adam Atsani. Let's quickly look at that of the clapai FA. Of course, we have Gwamni Meshak in goal for them. Akawu Shadrach still is on the pitch of play. Dimas Jerry, Tochuku Abuchi, Alheri Paul, Lanji Galadi is still on the pitch of play. Of course, Nicholas Aloba, till number 16, is still on the pitch of play. Duru, Chinedu Duru is still on the pitch of play. Christopher John is still on the pitch of play. Zadok John is still on the pitch of play as well. And also Shedra Sunday. Quickly, let's make a correction here. Jerry Dimas has been taken off because he was injured earlier in the first half. Now let's get the results for clapai Ife. We have William Gyang, Wink Gyang, Emmanuel Elendu, Kenneth Wilson, Arnold Gyang, Michael Nnamdi, and Kamal. I think Kenneth Wilson is in the pitch of play. He was actually substitute. He actually came on earlier in this particular one. Now let's have opportunity for Superstars FA. Yes, they're still in control, of course. Okay, a save there by the goalkeeper for clapai FA. All right, there's a bit of an issue on the pitch of play. Player down. That's the captain of the side, talking about Shedrack Akau. It's down in the 18 box. It's been attended to by the referee, talking about Babangida. All right, the player is fine. He's up. That's good news for the coach, Anthony James. He wouldn't want to lose a player at this particular moment. Captain of the side, Shedrack Akawi on the ball. He dribbles past the man, supplies the ball to Zadok John. All right, considered a free kick. I mean a throw-in. I beg your pardon. Of course, it's an enjoyable moment for us here at the Rampound Township Stadium. Wherever you're watching us, in any part of the world, of course, it's the Sammy Sports International Premiership. Match day 4. This live match, of course, is going down here, and it's our star match for the week. Superstars FA against clapai FA. We said it earlier that clapai FA has been the most generous of all. They've considered 14 goals, lost 3 matches, of course, in succession. Now they are at the verge of losing another match. With all due respect to a very, very formidable Superstar side. So let's see if they can pick up the pieces. Let's see if they can bring anything to the table, to the party this afternoon. They are currently trailing by 2 goals to nothing against the Superstars FA. So it's a big one here at the Rampound Township Stadium. The referees, the central referees and assistant referees have been doing very, very well. There's no yellow card at the moment. I think the game has been fair. And in my own opinion, the goalkeeper starts the ball from the back, kicks the ball in. A big contest here. Zadok John on the ball, still moves. Drops the ball to Shedrack. They're in cruise control here. Shedrack passes the ball. Drops the ball in. Flag is up, outside against clapai FA. I think it's all about pushing more bodies, committing more bodies forward, get more numbers in the opponent's half. So long as you keep that kind of tactical display, you have a big opportunity. The more men you have up front, with the mindset, of course, of defending very well, you should be able to get at least a goal in this. Just as we said earlier in the live studio, should clapai be able to get a goal in the first 5 or 10 minutes of this game, I think they will have a big opportunity to come back. An opportunity, hit! Wow, that's a fantastic placing by Usman Abman. He lost that. I think it's a good display when you have players of such are making such a very, very good attempt. Overall, it has been a good game. Just kickstart the second half. Second 45 minutes here at the Rampound Township Stadium. We have another match that will be going down in a couple of minutes. And that game will go down between Highland Stars FA against Esperon. And it's interesting to know that Highland Stars FA has won their 2 straight matches. They lost 1, won 2. And of course, Esperon 2 came out at the wake of a defeat in their opening game by Derby FA. And they are now 6 points as well, just ahead of the Highland Stars FA. So that match will go down later. But I'm sorry, we can't be able to live stream that particular game. So these are our star match for the week. So enjoy, of course, while it lasts. Of course, jump over the ball. Chinedu has an opportunity. He lost that. Goalkeeper. Goalkeeper's hand. Good defending display. clapai seems to be pushing forward this time around. Shedder lost that ball. I think he was sleeping on the ball. Can't sleep on duty when you have this kind of chance. Clapai still in control. Zadok John on the ball. Shedrag on the ball. A 1-2 situation, of course, but he lost that. Goalkeeper picks the ball. He drops it in. Ismail Asarki on the ball. He has a very good physical quality. He rolls the ball across the man. 1-on-1 situation. Still with the ball. All right. He picks up Sarki on the ball. He lost it. A corner considered by Clapai Efe. I think they are a little bit under pressure right on. First 5 minutes of the second half, they seem to still be under pressure. I thought maybe the team talk should have done more better and increased their confidence a bit.
Well, until now, I actually thought that Superstars actually still been in control of the game, but Clapai seems to have found their rhythm from the beginning of the game, even though they're still not in control of it because they have not been keeping the ball in possession for a long time. They've not even kept the ball in position for up to a minute, and that's a problem. But for Superstars, I think they actually need to watch it because it seems like Clapai are out for them in the second half because the threat is more, the pressure is more on Red Star side and even Clapai in the second half, and it seems like tables are actually turning. It might be another 2 goals now from Clapai, but they seem not to want to score the goal so far. The fortunes are not actually on their side this afternoon, but let's see how it goes. The game doesn't seem to balance till this moment. There's no balance in the game, especially for Clapai. They are holding the ball, but they don't know what to do with it, and that's the problem. They need someone who can do the finishing for them, and just Tinedu cannot do that alone. There's Christopher John, and he seems not to be capable of delivering in the finishing line, and that's going to be a problem for them. They need that box-to-box striker that can collect the ball from the side, from the middle, from the back, and be able to finish it off for them and get the goals that they need.
All right. A foul there. Okay. The referee says the play's on. All right, a free kick considered by Clapai Efe. All right, we're still enjoying ourselves here at the Rampong Township Stadium. Of course, football is all about entertainment, yes. When it heals a lot of injuries, of course. So wherever you are, wherever you're watching us from any part of the world, of course, you are live in Jos. Yes, Jos, the city of the talented players. You talk about the ex-Super Eagles captain, John Mikel Obi. He was born and bred, of course, here in the city of Jos. And guess what? The current captain of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, who has just signed for Canopilas Efe yesterday, Ahmed Musa, was born and brought up here, of course, in the city of Jos. So what are we talking about? We are here to give you the very best of football. Talents, of course. Talents hunts, of course, you get the best here in the city of Jos. I don't want to start mentioning a lot of international players, of course, that played, that were actually made from this very city. And that is why Sammy Adesoji is trying to ensure that we can actually bring back this past glory. In the past 2 years, of course, the number of players that have been produced in the age grade category for the national teams, we seem not to be having much. Of course, you discovered that at the last under-17 tournaments, I think we had just 2 or 3 players, of course, from the city of Jos. The last one, I think just only 1-2. Talking about, I think Dalum, but then he was actually dropped at the final stretch. So I think that we need to bring that back, that glory back here in the city of Jos, because we are well known for producing star players. So we are known how to produce a better crop of players. Foul against Superstars FA. The fans seem not to be comfortable with that, but then that's the decision of the central referee, and it seems to be in cruise control. So Clapai have an opportunity. The ball it's being laid on the floor, of course, to be taken by Nicholas Ahoba. Okay, I beg your pardon. Chinedu actually took that ball. They seem not to be biting up front. I don't get it. Up front, they don't seem to be doing well. Okay, an opportunity for Superstars. He's still turning the striker. Lets the ball. Saki, he lost the ball too as well. Salisu couldn't get the ball. He couldn't protect the ball. Dimas with the ball. Back to Zadok. A foul there. An opportunity. I think they actually squandered the opportunity, talking about Superstars Efe. It was a clear-cut chance. Maybe talking about Ismail Asarki, you would have actually used the opportunity, maybe bury the chance and then kill the game.
Well, Ismail Asarki is a midfielder and he was alone up front. You don't expect him to actually do that finishing against 3 defenders. They were all around him. If you see the way he was rotating, he was doing it professionally and smartly, and he passed the ball well. But the problem with his teammates was that they were not able to collect the ball and deliver it back to him. They were not positioning themselves, and I think that's the problem with Superstars in the second half. Their positions have actually been awkward. They're not positioning themselves in a way that would favor their teammates, in a way that they could pass the ball to them. You position yourself in a way that your teammates can be able to pass the ball to you, and you can pass it to your teammates and still pass it back and do the finishing. That's the whole point. But they're not doing that. They leave the whole work for one person. Once it's up front, you're supposed to do the finishing, and it doesn't get so much easy when you have a team that are desperate to score and they are desperate to also defend. It's a shaky game so far, but they lost an opportunity there to make it 3-0 for them.
Still 2-0 in favor of Superstars Efe here at the Sammy Sports International Premiership, talking about the SSI Premiership. We are live here at the Rampound Township Stadium. The goalkeeper for Superstars seems to start the ball from back. Of course, it has been a good display so far by this team that has not actually gotten 3 points. They have 2 points in 3 matches, which is quite bad for a grassroots club. Then they have an opportunity here. If they can finish up this way, I think they will have 5 points, which I feel it will be massive for their confidence going forward into their next fixture. Yusuf lost that ball there. Of course, it's a throw-in for clapai. They seem to be taking their time to do the throw-in. That's sometimes players could actually be thinking, look, we just need to take our time. Okay, it's a corner kick. That's a poor play from Yusuf. Christopher John lost that. I think he needs a little bit of support up front. If I were the coach, I'll be looking at that as well. Foul against Superstars Efe. They have a free kick just at the edge of the box. Let's see if they could actually have a dead ball specialist that could do justice to this. I can see Salisu going on the ball. Salisu seems to be the one to take the ball. He has been the better player for me, both in the both halves. Buhari Umar too is interested in taking that piece. 3 players on the ball. Salisu seems to be giving chance, giving way to Buhari Umar. All right, we are back to the second change for clapai Efe. Chinedu Juru is off. Michael Nnamdi is in. Okay, a change also is about to be effected for a double change, for Superstars Efe. It's a tactical change. He wants to get more goals. All right, 2 players on. Abubakar Usman is in for Yusuf Omar. Of course, Buhari Umar too has been taken off and replaced as well. The goalkeeper makes a mistake there, capitalizes. He picks the ball finally. I think it's typical of a grassroots teams. Sometimes they get to to misinterpret situations. Maybe they just need a little bit of exposure. The goalkeeper had no business keeping the ball in that particular part. Drops the ball in. Whenever you're facing a little bit of danger, all you need to do is to kick the ball forward. We say safety first. Because the moment you lose the ball, the more you get punished. The super sub, he lost that. Good goalkeeping there from Mesha Gwamni. He started the ball from back. That's a good display. Manji Galadi with the ball. Free kick considered against Superstars. That was their talisman off from Christopher John. That was actually brought down. A free kick for Clapai. Manji is on the ball. He jumps it in. Still in possession. Good display, good defensive display by Superstars AFA. They are still in cruise control. 2-0 here at the new Zaria Road Stadium. Oh, I beg your pardon, it's the Rompound Township Stadium. It's 2-0 in favor of Superstars AFA. They're actually up against Clapai AFA. It's our star match for the week. And we're here to give you the very best of football from the city of Jos into the hands of the goalkeeper. Just the ball in. A chance for Abubakar Usman. Goalkeeper still committing blunders. He should have done the better clearance for me. Lays the ball off. That's a better defensive display. Shedrack on the ball. Drops the ball in as well. They seem not to be connecting up front. I think that's one thing that Anthony James needs to work on in. Because it doesn't make sense for me. If the players can actually walk the ball from the defense line into the midfield, and then the midfield, especially the attacking midfield, don't seem to connect with the strikers, how do you get to produce goals? I believe so much that football is all about creativity. The more chances you create, of course, the 50% chance for you to get goals. If you have strikers that have these killer instincts, you have an incisive strikers, you have strikers that are ruthless, they can actually bury your chances. So it's all about creativity. That's what Clapai seem not to be doing at the moment. They can't link up the attacking midfield with the strikers. So how do you get the goals? Save! Big save there by Clapai FA. Talking about Meshak Gwamni, talking about the goalkeeper for Clapai. It's a huge save. A corner kick considered by Clapai. Shadra clears the ball from danger. Throw in favor of Superstars AFA. It's 2-0, still in favor of Superstars AFA. We're halfway into the second half. Another corner kick. For Superstars AFA. They seem to be taking their time. Ahmad is on the ball. Let's see what he can bring. They have 6 men in the box. Poor kick there. Still Superstars in possession. Drops the ball in. The captain of the side tonight, Ibrahim, still chasing the ball. Gets the better of the ball. Of course, he lost it. It's a goal kick. Good decision there by the assistant referee. Good contest. Throw. The players seem to be a little bit frustrated by the decision of the linesman, but then it's still in his favor. You need to calm their nerves. At times, it's not always easy. Whenever you're losing a game, you seem to be in a hurry to see if you can actually get the goal and come back into the game. But at the moment, Clapai Stars as it's trailing by 2-0. Still 2-0 in favor of Superstars FA, and we're live here at the Rampound Township Stadium. It is where you can get the very best of football. It is the Sammy Sports International Premiership, the SSI Premiership, Season 1. The goalkeeper keeps the ball in safety. Clapai seems to be breaking. Still in possession, Clapai hits the ball. It's back into the hands of the goalkeeper. Alright, for the sake of information, of course, of viewers at home, wherever you are in the part of the world, of course, it's still 2-0 in favor of Superstars FA here at Rampound Township Stadium. Let's quickly give you the rundown of results of matches that have been played earlier this morning. Of course, Red Arrows lost by 2-4 against the table toppers, talking about Jazzy Stars FA in that interesting encounter. And the match that is going down here, just as I said earlier, is Superstars 2, Clapai FA 0. That's the second match for today. The third game, of course, and the players are up. We can see them from the other side of the camera trying to get prepared. Esperon will be up against Highland Stars FA. And also later on the day will be Junior Cadets against Derby FA. The last match for today will see Adjesta FA going up against Nestrak FA. That's how it is. That's the fixtures of matches that will go down today. 5 matches to be played in total today. We're talking about the SSI Premiership. This is the match day 4. And of course, it is where you can get the very best of football. Superstars FA still in attacking. Of course, Super Sub, of course, he lost that ball too as well. Good goalkeeping. The player is down, he needs attention. The referee is there, a couple of players trying to see if he can actually pick up. Alright, the player is up, he's doing fine. And I can see the referee there talking to both players. And that's the spirit of sportsmanship. And that is what we need to start inculcating in grassroots football. When they grow up with this notion, when they grow up with this mentality, whenever they get to that professional level, of course, it's always easy for them. And don't forget about the fact that it is, of course, an under-18 tournament here. And not really above 18, of course. Players that you can see parading here in this particular tournament are really under-18 players. The goalkeeper drops the ball in. A poor kick is still, in my opinion. The ball returns back to the opponents. And that's why we keep clamoring. Don't kick the ball if you're not sure. The opportunity. Offside. Good decision by the assistant referee. Offside against Superstars FA. They are still in cruise control. 2-0. But it's still an open play. Anything can actually happen. Shadrach, John Zadok. They seem to be the field marshal tonight. The captain of the side. Shadrach Akau. Still playing, lost the ball. Dimas couldn't give that reply to return pass. Now we have Superstars under attack. Salisu going forward, lets the ball in. Hits, misses. That's a big chance, lost by the substitutes. Talking about Abubakar Usman. All right, Clapai Stars are about to effect another change. Dimas is off. Outside against Superstars FA. The captain of the side, Shedra on the ball, still pushing forward. He's trying to see if he can bring something in. He lost the ball. That's not necessary. It's not necessary. I think you have a man there. Make a 1-2 situation and you can walk the ball out. Moving forward. Still, Shadow got the ball. He hits. Okay, that's a good block by the central defender. Superstars still in possession. They lost the ball. Superstar in possession. Forward play. We go there. Salisu. He has been in a better player for me in the second half. But in the first half as well. I beg your pardon. Corner considered by clapai Efe. Corner ball. Still 2-0. They seem to be taking their time. Of course, yes, that's what you get when you're in cruise control. 2-0. That's a poor one. All right, a handball against clapai Efe. The referee has given that to clapai Efe. I mean, to Superstars Efe. I beg your pardon. Just at the edge of the box, and this could just be another golden opportunity for Superstars Efe to consolidate on that win. I think if they can get a third goal, we should call the game off. That should be done and dusted in my own opinion. Ismail Asarki's on the ball. What a wall there. Hits the woodwork. I think there was a fingertip there. Another chance. Lost it. Talking about the captain, Abubakar Abdullahi. Clapai have been the lucky ones in this half. Of course, a couple of opportunities have been lost by Superstars Efe. Corner kick in favor of Superstars Efe. Still taking a corner. Drops the ball in. All right, it's over. Flicks the ball outside. Not really an encouraging corner kick. I think coaches in the grassroots level, right on, need to develop this mentality, this attitude that look, let's utilize every set piece. If you watch the matches in Europe, even in Africa, so there are some countries there that they don't play with their set piece. They seem to make more use of their set pieces compared to even the open play. So some of our players here and some of the grassroots teams here seem to be lackadaisical. Whenever they have the opportunity on the set piece, they don't tend to consolidate on that. I think that's a big and a huge problem for grassroots development, especially in Nigeria.
Well, I don't think Nigeria has a means or a solution towards the lackadaisical attitude they've been giving to football. You can imagine that this is a country that says football is the most rated sport, which it is in the country, but they claim to invest so much in it, and they don't actually want to do so much for it at the same time, and it's bad. You don't expect to see coaches in the grassroots level pick up when even those at the national level are not actually exemplifying these things for them. You don't expect a player to have a ball because they want to keep doing their display on the ball. They now fall back to their own set pieces. They don't even concentrate and actually do the finishing work, which is the most essential in any football game. There's no football game that doesn't want maximum points. The essence is to score goals and score more goals. Look at Superstars FA. They look like they are satisfied with the 2 goals they actually scored in the first half, and it doesn't look well on them because they are satisfied, they are sitting on it. Let's keep playing around with these boys. Let's just make sure they don't get a goal, but we don't want to score more goals. And yes, they missed a couple of chances, but these chances would have been utilized if they had actually settled down to actually utilize those chances, if they had actually been composed enough to be able to get those chances. And you must give kudos also to Abdullahi, the goalkeeper of Clapai. He has actually been able to display some good form of saves for them. Reminds me of Courtois at Madrid, and you could give him a kudos for that. Yes, they conceded so many goals. When he was at Chelsea, he was the poorest goalkeeper at that time, but look at him now at Madrid. He has been able to put up some fine form of competition for Atletico Madrid's goalkeeper, and you can say that it's actually the same way we want it in this kind of manner too. He should be able to keep up with competition. Yes, he made mistakes, he made errors in the first half. Like you said, who knows, he was encouraged in the dressing room, and look at the displays he's giving in the second half. He's even doing better than the players on the pitch, and that's what is most important.
All right, free kick in favor of Clapai FA. Of course, actually considered by Superstars FA. It's still 2-0 in favor of Superstars FA here at the Rompound Township Stadium. A substitution, of course, is about to be effected for Superstars FA. Alright, we're into the 78th minute of this game, and of course it's still 2-0 in favor of Superstars FA. They are still carrying on with their attack. Players actually struggling to stand on his feet. Throwing. Okay, wherever you are, of course, we are still enjoying ourselves here at the Rompound Township Stadium. It is the Sammy Sports International Premiership, talking about the SSI Premiership Season 1. Of course, the very first of its kind here in the city of Jos. For the record, a total of 180 matches will be played, and each team is to play 18 games within the space of 4 months, 2 weeks. Yes, that's how it's going to be. And this is just the match day 4. So you haven't seen the best of football yet, of course, because we believe that after the first 9 weeks of this particular tournament, teams should have been able to watch their opponents, know who they are going to play against in the second half of the season, because they must have played each other in the first half of the season. So it's always going to be a very, very interesting encounter. And wherever you are, of course, just as I said earlier, watching around the world, yes, it is live here in the city of Jos, and we are here to give you the very best of football. It's an opportunity, a very, very huge opportunity for you to scout up players here, live and direct. Of course, that's the business. You don't want to play these boys. You don't want these boys to play football and end here at the grassroots level. We want to see them play for the national team. We want to see them play for the likes of Chelsea, play for the likes of Barcelona, play for the likes of Real Madrid, play for the likes of Borussia Dortmund, play for the likes of maybe the Italian Serie A giants, talking about Juventus, and also play for Inter Milan. Go to places like Ajax, where you get the best of football, especially when it comes to young talents. They can play for even countries like Greece, the Greek League, the French League, the PSGs of this world. We want to see these boys make it big in football, and who knows, of course, maybe, and we are so optimistic here at the Sammy Sports International that majority of these players will actually play for the national team in the nearest future. They are less than 18 years old, of course, so we have 15, 16, 17 and 18 years old player actually being paraded at this very tournament. So you can come up, of course, wherever you are watching us, wherever you are in the part of the world, you can do business with these boys. Of course, our football has this massive economic gains, apart from even enjoying yourselves on the pitch of play. So It's open. It's an open display. That's why we said we have to show these boys to the whole world. It's our star game, a star match rather, for the week. It's Superstars 2 and then clapai FA nil here at the Rampong Township Stadium in the SSI Premiership Season 1.
We have no more than 10 minutes into the game of clapai FA versus Superstars FA. And it doesn't look like clapai are willing to make any consolidation for the goals that were conceded. They seem satisfied with it at least. Don't concede more goals. They look desperate, especially from the middle. The attacking prowess has increased since the 78th minute, and it's a different thing entirely for them. Big encounter between the goalkeeper there and some players of clapai. It doesn't look like clapai seem to want to compensate or equalize any goal in the second half. Towards the end of this game, it looks like it's all for Superstars FA this afternoon at the Rampong Township Stadium. Just passed the ball, and it doesn't seem to have passed through clapai FC, and it went back to him at the far end of the post. So far, Ismail Aserki has been the one of the outstanding players in this match, both the first half and the second half, and I like the way he's playing, attacking, defending at the same time, carrying his team all around the game, and it doesn't look like he's even tired at all. And then there's clapai, who are all relentless and all. We need to score goals to equalize, and they keep losing. One player down for clapai, and he's back on his feet. And it doesn't look like he's trying to go down. Nicholas Ahoba, he seems to have been losing the balls for them recently. They've been losing possessions, especially from him so far in this game. And it doesn't look like they can pick up the pieces. One player is down for Superstars FA, and it doesn't look so good on him. They are trying to check him and see if he could continue in the game.
All right, thank you, dear Aaron. Players down. Needs attention, of course. He has actually been attended to by the captain of the opposition side, talking about clapai. Clapai in red, for the record, and Superstars that are actually cruising by 2-0, and in ash and white jersey. Still 2-0 in favor of Superstars FA. We are getting to the closing stages, of course, of this particular game tonight. I beg your pardon, this afternoon. So we expect something to happen. Now they have an ample opportunity. A free kick. It's a dead ball situation for clapai. Let's see if you can have a specialist that could actually do justice to that. Standing on the ball, of course, is Manji. Hits the ball straight. Good attempt there. It's in the safety of the goalkeeper. He drops the ball in. It's full time. The referee blows the final whistle. 2-0 here at the Rampound Township Stadium in favor of Superstars FA. And just for the record, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're watching us in any part of this world, of course, you're live here at the Rampound Township Stadium. And the game just ended between Superstars FA and clapai FA. It's 2-0 in favor of Superstars FA. We told you earlier that Superstars have actually won the game. This is the match day 4, and this is their first win of this particular premiership. That's a particular tournament. And then we get to also let you know that clapai have been conceding. They've conceded 14 goals so far in 4 matches. I wonder how it ends, of course, when they play their match at the 18th game. Of course, I told you earlier that each team is going to play about 18 matches in total. So, therefore, clapai now are still at the relegation zone. They've lost 4 straight matches. They've conceded 14 goals, which is not quite good for the grassroots team. I think there's supposed to be a lot of work that has to be done. Big congratulations to Superstars FA. They've got their first win for this particular tournament in their match day 4. And I told you earlier that they are not actually having their head coach on the touchline, talking about Issa, because of a little disciplinary issue. So a big one for them, a big congratulations to them. And overall, it was a super performance from Superstars FA. Now, Raron, quickly back to you now. Let's open the studio and do some bit of analysis. Nothing seems to be coming forth for nothing seems to come forth rather for the likes of clapai. They never got a goal. They still lost the game by the 2-0 they conceded in the first half of the game.
Well, I think it was an interesting performance from Superstars FA, despite the fact that they were without their head coach. It was an interesting performance for them, and you could see the smiles on their faces. Their first win so far, which moves them up to 6th position on the log. clapai are still 9th though, even though Red Arrows are still bottom because of the goal difference. And you can say that Superstars are up to something. They can do better in next matches. They can be better in their performances. This could be a big one for them so far. But I'm looking forward to the next match between El Spuron FA and Highland Football Academy, which is going to be very interesting. I'm looking forward to watching Samshuddin Usman, who is their highest goal scorer, and he's a fantastic player. I remember I said this on the first day of the opening game. That goal he scored, I still have it in my head, and I can't stop replaying it. It was an interesting performance from Samshuddin Usman.
Are you falling in love?
No, I'm not. It's football. It's a beautiful game. When you have a player that actually gives in his best, when you have a player that does the work that is expected of him, definitely you want to keep watching that player. I think I fell in love with football because of Lionel Messi. I love the way he plays. I love the way he carries the football. It's a football thing for him, which is very, very admirable. Same thing with Samshuddin Usman. I like the way he carries the ball, his courage on the ball, the way he plays on the wing. He's just like Mbappe. All these kind of players that you find the space, you look for these spaces, and then you use it as an opportunity, and then you score goals and all that. Interesting performance for them. And El Spuron FC, I'm looking forward to their match against Highland FC, which is going to be a very, very interesting experience. I will be here with you in the studio to also do this. We'll take a break now, but when we come back, don't worry, it's going to be more interesting than ever. It's still the SSI Premiership Game Week 4 at the Rampound Township Stadium.
All right, big thank you to my colleague Rarom. Big thank you to you for coming into the studio. And we said bye from here at the Rampound Township Stadium. Just as I said earlier, this is the best of grassroots football you can actually get across Nigeria. It is the Sammy Sports International Premiership. It's brought to you. It's an initiative of the veteran sports journalist talking about Sammy at Desoji. So a big thank you to all the cameramen that have been here with me. Big thank you to Raron for coming into the studio as well. We will not be live streaming the 3rd game because this is our star match for today. So we hope, we are very, very sure you've seen some talent, you've enjoyed some great football at the comfort of your zone. So stay with us next week, of course. We'll be back to give you the very best of football. My name is Mary Steven.
And I'm Rairam Zamora.
Bye-bye for now.